Ih, mahal nih Yan harga tiketku.
Loh, emangnya kau nggak balik mana?
Loh, kok kau tahu bahasa aku? Kau dari mana sih sebenarnya?
Aku Bangka, kau dari mana?
Oh, aku dari Jambi. Pantas baik kau tahu aku ngomong apa.
Iyalah, sama-sama Sumatera lah kita.
Iya. Ih, kesel nah, harga tiket nih mahal nih Yan. Kita nak
Berapa,
balik.
Aku pun nak balik lah, banyak kena nih. Aku nak pulang, aku rindu lah dengan keluarga aku.
Gak dulu. Apa itu banyak kena?
Banyak kena atau banyak kehendak, rumit, sulit, pusing.
Oh, beda ya ternyata. Did you find it interesting when you hearing us? Do you know that Indonesia has so many islands? According to the Ministry of Internal Affairs, Indonesia has 16,056 islands in 2017. Besides has so many islands, Indonesia has many ethnic groups and cultures. Based on the BPS census, Indonesia has 1,314 ethnic groups that spread from Sabang to Merauke, and also the culture as a symbol of each region that characterizes us as Indonesia. Thus, because of the number of ethnic groups and cultures, Indonesian people tend to have their own local language based on which region they came from. The local language is one of the characteristics that distinguishes us from other states. But here, I want to tell you something that might surprise you guys. The local language condition is concerning. Surprisingly, Indonesian people gradually leaving the use of the local language, which makes this problem is more serious than the art problem. Until today, Badan Pengembangan dan Pembinaan Bahasa has been identified 652 local language out of 2,453 regions in Indonesia. But there are 11 local languages that have become extinct, which are local language from Kayali, Piru, Moksela, Palumata, Ternateno, Hukumina, Hoti, Serua from the Maluku Island, Nila, Tandia, and Mawas from Papua. Meanwhile, 4 other local languages are in a dangerous situation, which are Ibo and Meher from Maluku, Reta from East Nusa Tenggara, and Saponi from Papua. Every year, local languages in Indonesia is in endangered or in decline situation. In 2009, UNESCO told that approximately 2,500 languages in the world, including more than 100 local languages in Indonesia, are in endangered situation. Now, I'd like to tell you why our local languages is in an endangered situation. First, Indonesian local language are getting less used and being abandoned by the speaker. Besides, other reasons are intermarriage, which makes people tend to use bahasa than their local language as a daily conversation, and also a negative perception from people towards local languages, especially the young generation that prefer to preserve bahasa gaul and foreign languages than the local language itself. From this situation lately, many people don't master Indonesia local language, and there is no intention from them to learn about one of the local languages. If they try to learn it, at least they try to preserve local language. And if they don't, it can make the local language getting fade.
But do you know that local languages in Indonesia are almost extinct? One of the wealth that Indonesia has is the number of tribes and culture very much. But are that many Indonesian cultures are almost extinct? With increasingly modern technology, it is feared that Indonesian culture are almost acting more and more. One of Indonesian culture is local languages. Every day, we often using Indonesian or sometimes we using English in our daily conversations. But the most important thing, we should also use local languages in our daily conversations. Regional languages show the civilization and intellectuals of people in past life. Therefore, it is fitting for us to show the wealth of their perspective regional languages with pride. There are several problems met by local languages extensions. The first is our generation not fluent to speak their own languages, and then some of them use local languages in a wrong way. For example, contain the negative context or racism. So it will make intolerance for each other. Maybe we who live in the same environment can start to speak our own languages in our environment, because there's no human right to speak our local languages in school or at neighborhood. Indonesia has a lot of culture and tradition, especially local languages. Even we have a different tribes and culture, we can learn other languages beside the area where we live. We can start by using local languages in our daily conversations with our family. We can read the book story in local languages, and we can ask our parents, family members, or friends to help us or correct us when we use local languages in our daily conversation. We should prove to the world that Indonesian children not only good and fluent to speak Indonesian, but good and fluent to speak their national languages and local languages. Learn about local languages not only to increase our knowledge about our culture and our traditions, but also to maintain the richness of Indonesian culture so that it doesn't become extinct. For that, local languages must be used to make works of music, art, and literature. When the community can feel the beauty that is in the local languages, it is expected that the community can use the local languages with pride. Local languages must also have aesthetic function. It is very important to use local languages as a tool to show the beauty that comes from each region. With the existence of ethical and aesthetic function, the community is expected to preserve local languages with a sense of responsibility and with pride, so that people can also interpret the value of life interface from their ancestors. So it's our obligation to make sure that our culture and our tradition, especially local languages, still live in community.
Preserve local language, keep the national language, and learn the foreign language.